You just have the Wukong there to sort of match that and get your Jinx safe, keep your Jinx safe and scaling.
Yeah, I think you're right. If you're Babip, you probably just want to allow your lanes to scale, just kind of match where Gemini is moving around on the map, try and counter gank as opposed to looking for something proactive on your own. I think if you can kind of reach, that 2-item spike, it's definitely starting to go, more in your favor. But definitely in the early game, have to be a bit more careful. I think Aesol at level 6 as well, probably by that point does have enough wave clear to actually get priority in this mid matchup. Here's double spellbook for our mid laners here. Everything else is looking pretty normal though. Shunny's going to spot the Chiefs bot lane. Give them a little W for their trouble, but they are just going to walk around. Looks like it will be the overheal build again for Raze. Last game, I guess didn't really get to kind of reach it. The kind of point and click onto him, it isn't as severe this game, right? Like without the Vi, obviously the Veigar is pretty annoying, but it's not to the same level for sure.
He doesn't have cleanse, however, so if Lee Sin ever kicks him into a cage, he is pretty much just as good as dead. So I have to be really worried about that, you'd have to think, as I do expect Chiefs here to sort of get Prio level 1. Lucian Nami not really known for their level 1 capabilities.
Yeah, not really expecting Lucian Nami to do a whole lot, at least until kind of that level 2. Even at that first base spike, we saw in the past a lot of the Lucians going for that Dirk on first base, but recently has kind of fallen off a bit. You kind of just see them going towards the Gale Force. Not really looking for that. As trades are coming out, actually a lot of damage onto Aladark. We have Gemini in the area again. Last game he did these 3 camps and then just path top. I mean, there isn't the greatest gank setup, but could maybe look for something. Okay, Hook does go wide. And the wave is going to crash. I think now Gemini probably does just go top. Looks like any kind of early dive here won't really be possible, so can just look to path away. Not too much to that. Oh, actually, big trade coming out of Shun. I want to say as well, the jungle pass, they're basically the exact same as the first game, but this time, I think the mid prior is definitely a bit better for Kizay than it was before. Can Babip look to go in and force him off, though? I'm not too sure. To see what he plans.
Yeah, and how does this mid matchup tend to go, do you think? Like, you'd have a better idea than I.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good for Aesol, honestly. Like, especially once you get more points in queue, you can kind of just pin Veigar to his tower. Obviously, you do have to be careful of the ganks, though.
3-man looking mid here for the Chiefs. Nice cage to stop any follow-up, really, as he will catch Barb on the way out.
Wave is frozen here for Kizay though, so Jimmy is going to have to be pretty careful walking up. Maybe Gemini can come and help him crash this wave. Jimmy's going to do his best to crash it on his own. I mean, Kizay's Aesol doesn't have enough wave clear yet to kind of stop this. I mean, it definitely takes a few levels before you really come online. But you're pretty happy, both of you scaling. I mean, it's kind of just goes to show how ridiculous Aesol's scaling is, that he can outscale a Veigar. I mean, does very similar damage, but has the added bonus of having just so much range, which feels very, very nice. Is Babip, he's in the wings. Gemini is nowhere near, so if Shun ends up walking up to this bush, could be in trouble. Ooh, the hook does go wide.
Yeah, nice by Slaytrue to be aware of that possibility, as TFO have to be so careful here. They are pushing quite far up. Lantern does come down. They are looking. Flash Flay will land onto Slaytrue. Bubble does not connect, but he will be happy flashing and healing to get out. Now, Shun positioning quite aggressively, considering.
It is a flash trade. I wonder. Yeah, ooh, the hook doesn't quite connect again, but I think the flash trade, it is punishable, right? I think Slaytrue having no flash, no heal is very vulnerable. Unfortunately, Babip, does have to reset, has to go back, put his camps on cooldown. Now, it looks like this window will most likely close as Gemini is in the area, can make sure this wave crashes if need be. But looks like even in the 2v2, they'll be able to get it under. That first dragon is spawning. CFO's bowling will go for the reset. I mean, so many times we've seen them just start up the dragon on spawn, but obviously value the good reset here pretty highly. It's both mids. Pretty much completely out of mana. Kizay's getting pretty low. I mean, there's nothing really in the area, but Jimmy, he's very close to 6. I don't even think he even has the mana, though, to do anything.
It does hit 6, but will be recalling. Does have teleport available, so we'll see if he uses that. We do see Gemini headed towards this bot side, and I don't believe there's any camps up, so it will likely be him going towards this dragon, as we do tend to see most of the time.
Is the Catalyst picked up by both mids? Kind of interesting. We've seen some Aurelion Souls look to rush Rylai's instead for a bit of an earlier spike, but Catalyst does make your lane quite a bit easier. Dragon is started up, you know, a little late for CFO standards, but still very early in the game by everyone else's. And with that current mid and bot priority, have to feel like they're going to pick it up. This is definitely not unexpected, though, for the side of Chiefs. While game one, I think giving over the Dragon wasn't the best with your kind of early skirmishing. This game has so much scaling, and giving over a Dragon, you're completely fine just to buy your lanes a little bit more time to scale.
Yeah, we'll be going over here. Gemini will pick this up, so Dragon timer now on for CFO, and you have to feel like that's exactly how they'd want this to be. I mean, as we see it engage here bottom, but CFO sort of do get outscaled, you'd have to think, so getting this drag started and done early will let them sort of use their spikes in the mid-game to try and pressure that win con for themselves. As Gemini now looking very aggressively down here, maybe just to try and zone the Chiefs bot lane away from this minion wave.
Yeah, they're getting pushed off. A lot of damage
We'll
on
find Aladoric. No flash available for Aladoric, remember. Shun flashes forward, will land the Q, and First Blood once again goes over to Gemini.
Yeah, I mean, that's really nice they're picked up. I want to say as well, Shun, who has the Dirk, so they've definitely committed to playing for the early game. Kise's in the area.
Yeah, Kise's coming in. He's just come down. The skies will descend, but can he find anything off that? A lot of damage onto Slaytrue. Cage comes down, and it looks like Chiefs will disengage from this. So well played by CFO. Get a kill, get out.
I'm kind of surprised that because they felt the need to go down, because while obviously it's not good that Aladoric died and your bot lane got zoned off, ultimately Raze lived and didn't have to flash, so he can still pick up all the CS on the tower. I mean, he isn't really in danger of getting dived. And Kise, like, really, especially if you're committing for the Catalyst build as opposed to the Rylai's, can just, you know, sit back and scale, but feels the need to go down bot, and it's kind of just his flash burn for his trouble, which up against the Veigar with that gank setup can definitely result in a kill later on. So, I mean, again, interesting. It feels like Chiefs once more just the game plan and the draft not lining up perhaps as well as you'd want it to.
Yeah, we do see Shun now hit level 6, so see if he'll use that culling. Lucians tend to like that with first strike as to get some more gold in their pocket before recalling, so could be an option. It is, and Ray's getting extremely low. Will have to flash, so almost a free summoner there, you have to say. Does commit the culling, but not that much of a cooldown, as Aladoric will be jumped on here. Barbup's in the area though, so Gemini will have to be a little bit careful. Aladoric now will get hit by the bubble. Cleanses out of the hook, does Shun. Barbup goes in 1v3. Cyclone's used. Does knock up Gemini on that reactivation of Q, but that's another kill over to Shun, and he is now 2-0-1.
Now, once again, CFO just running away with this game. Have such a big lead for Shun. You know, credit to Raze. While he was forced to flash, didn't actually end up dying, but, you know, even with the 0 deaths, is just falling so far behind as Raze. He's had enough of his teammates. I actually think he reconnected. It's fine. He's back. 3 plates, though, going the way of CFO, and so much gold picked up by the bot lane as well. You know, Babbitt committed to kind of answering the play, which I think makes sense, but if the play goes bad, there is no trade on the other side of the map. You don't pick up the Herald as a result. And while Chiefs do outscale, you start the game at a 3k deficit at only 9 minutes.
Yeah, and I think, well, as we have a look at this replay, and man,
it's a really nice window, I think, found by Shun there. You know, the fact that I'm not sure if he actually saw Aladoric Hex flashing, but I think he did, and then decided to pull the trigger just then. And Aladoric, you know, he decides to stay under the tower. Unfortunately, the cleanse just comes out of Shun, and he's taken down in rather short order. And Babbitt, he tries to make something happen. Honestly, just doesn't have the damage to back it up, though, and goes down, you know, essentially for free. Just more gold given over to Shun. And it looks like, as well as all that, the cherry on top, they're going to pick up the Herald. So far, nothing going right, really, for Chiefs, other than the fact that their mid and AD haven't yet died. So while they are behind, they're still, you know, relatively similar in CS. So that's perhaps your lifeline into this game, but it's certainly not the start you want.
Yeah, Shun is already so far ahead in this bottom lane, and I mean, going towards what is going to be now the second Dragon in 50 seconds, you can't really contest this as Chiefs. I mean, look at the items. He hasn't completed an item yet, but that's because he delayed his Mythic due to the Dirk he picked up. But how are you ever supposed to go into this Lucian when you've just got a Berserker Greave, 2 Longsword Jinx?
Does feel so difficult. Perhaps now though, Kize, level 9, should be able to get priority over that mid lane. Almost has his flashback up as well. And I think Aurelion Sol can fall so far behind and still end up carrying the game, right? Just with the Sky's Descent, with that super-powered ult, can single-handedly turn fights around. And like you said earlier, CFO, I think they do, very late game get outscaled. So if Chiefs can't get there, potentially have a way back in. I'd be surprised to see them contest this, though. Kize does not yet have the Sky's Descent, doesn't have its first item either, so I'm surprised they're committing so much to this. I feel like this should just be a win for CFO. I'd like to see Chiefs back off and keep scaling.
They are starting it. Rift Shield goes down mid, so that looks like it should be answered. Gemini jumps in the pit, steals it away, and things have just gotten bad for worse for Chiefs. They lose the Dragon. Meanwhile, up top, Rest is just free farming and free hitting the tower, and you've just committed Biopanther to get behind in his lane and gain nothing from it.
I think really questionable play there from Chiefs overall. I mean, bringing Biopanther down without TP means that you're always going to lose so much on the other side of the map. And while if you had managed to pick up the Dragon, would have bought you a little bit more time scaling, the price of that would be, so much gold given over in that top side. As well as, while you're doing that drag, your carries aren't farming. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, I guess just value the Dragon high enough here for Chiefs that they felt like they needed to go for it as Gemini.
Gemini finds a nice combo onto Bar, but will not be able to finish it off as he gets very low there to the Dragon's Breath of Kisei, but does manage to get away. Super Mega Death Rocket does kill it, connect onto Slaytrue, but will not find anything.
They don't. This gold lead now up to 4k, and I mean, we didn't really mention it, but Gemini, he managed to steal away the drag, so things going from bad to worse for Chiefs. There's definitely a point where, despite outscaling, you just can't really hang in the game anymore, right? You're just losing gold too quickly, losing these towers too fast for you to really allow yourself to scale. The hook was so close. Shun did have the cleanse, though.
Yeah, I didn't even really see it down there on the bottom, but it kind of looked like it should have hit. But here we see Gemini just getting more done in the top side jungle, bottom side jungle even, as we'll just back away. And this feels so terrible to be Barb up in this game. He's 4 treats down on his smite again, so hook doesn't quite land and Culling's used. Aladoric will be half health. Resonating Strike, importantly, does not land, but tower here getting extremely low.
It is getting pretty low. Jimmy just always has pressure in the river, and I want to say, game 1 performance was kind of expected, did have that counter pick, but here actually blind picked and still manages to go up 20 CS as well as having lots of priority over his lane. So, it kind of goes under the radar right now because Shun's the one with all the gold, but pressure from Jimmy and coming out of this mid lane, I think, can't be understated. They're certainly having a great time here. It is the Mandate and the Gale Force now completed for the CFO bot side, so they're going to be insanely strong. And look at all that plate gold picked up. It's 2,000, and 4 of those were just in that top side, I think, when Biopanther committed to the drag. Aladoric, they got 3 members here.
Yeah, 3 here. Looks like Rest might go down. He does have Flash and Gnar available. Flashes away, but nice prediction by Aladoric. Doesn't actually have the Gnar available, sorry, and will go down. So nice pickup there from Chiefs, and honestly, fantastic hook by Aladoric.
Was really well played, but how many times have we seen this happen to Rest? I mean, he just doesn't respect ganks at all, continues to push, continues to take plates, ends up going down for it, but still has a big lead for himself. And this is the mid tower dropping at 14 minutes here, which is a really big pickup, I think, against the Aurelion Sol. Because it just makes it so much more difficult, right? If you can keep your mid tower alive with all your wave clear, you can allow your side lanes to continue to farm. But once the map opens up, it becomes very difficult. Rest kind of has no business being here, to be honest, as jungle and support, both bot side. Was pushed up very far, though, and has already, I guess, Gnar ulted the wave. Did flash out. Really nice prediction from Aladoric, though. Does take him out, so it's a consolation prize, but a prize nonetheless. He's happy about it. You gotta wonder, does he even care about getting ganked anymore? I don't think he does. He actually
he just
died off
died
screen
again
as well.
Man, this guy is he's just happy no matter what, I suppose.
Yeah. As long as you get the win.
You have a lot to be happy about. You are 5k ahead as Gemini now looking yet again. Will find Barb at 1 HP. Will not quite land the cripple. Not yet anyway. No, won't find it at all. But honestly, we even saw mid just before. He just lands a Q, goes in and ults the Aurelion Soul out. He's just happy to find as much damage as Shun.
Oh my.
Flash Gale Force just takes down Barb. It will find Aladoric there on the backside as well. So 2 more kills found for this Lucian. He's now 4-0. And he is just so ahead of the curve of the map state.
Let's see what happened to Shun. Okay, so he rest TP'd in onto a trap and just, got taken out pretty much straight away. Wait, he went back in.
Oh, he just turned around.
This guy is such an alpha. I mean, he tried to turn it around on 1 HP. I respect that, honestly. It is that top tower that does end up going down, though. And more gold picked up for Shun. I want to see what the ADC gold difference is at this point, because Raze should have enough gold for Mythic, I would think, but Shun must be rapidly approaching 2 items. And once again, I think this was a much more playable draft for Chiefs, and they have the scaling advantage, but it doesn't matter if you can't get there, right? Just falling so far behind on the map and individually in the lanes that CFO, they have 2 drags with a 3rd coming up and a massive gold lead to back that up.
Yeah, will Chiefs find this opportunity to look for the dragon? There's no one on the map of CFO, but they are rapidly headed towards that way as Rest looks like he might go down again, but that's a lot committed and he gets out. So no Aurelion Soul ult for this 3rd dragon, and with that you feel like they can't fight at all. Raze is in base as well, so Gemini now looking, however, can he find a nice Dragon's Rage?
He finds the dragon.
Will find the dragon, as you said. Shun looking for the kill. Oh my god, that Q was immaculate, and he finds the kill there on Kisei as Aladoric goes down off our screens as well.
Gemini's just out here making montages. I think that the initial play from Chiefs, it kind of screamed desperation, right? Committing so much onto Rest, who even if you kill, isn't super relevant to the team fight anyway. Just trying to find some way back into the game are Chiefs, but now that 3rd dragon will be picked up, as well as even more gold bot side. And once again, at only 18 minutes here, CFO have themselves a 10,000 gold lead. Chiefs, they're going to try and look for something. I mean, Babbitt, he's trying.
Yeah, Shun will get Cyclone, but Babbitt went down without his team even coming near. They do find the knock-up, however, onto Rest. He will go all out as Biopanther trying to find that kill on Rest. Will he find it? Aladoric does, as Kisei now finds a kill onto Shun. Massive shutdown. Actually, Raze found it, so nice getting Jinx that gold, but now it's just a 3v3. What can be done?
Is better than nothing here for the side of Chiefs, right? They pick up 2 kills, I believe. It was a 2 for 2 overall, so I think that's about the best you can ask for, and the gold going over to Raze has to be the perfect member to pick it up. Still feels like too little too late, but hey, we've seen Raze do some pretty crazy things before. This could be his moment. Let's take a look at the replay, though. So it makes sense, I think, from the side of Chiefs to try punish this CFO. They've overstayed on the map for a long time, haven't spent their gold. And Babbitt, he looks for some sort of engage, as well as the TP flank that comes in from Kisei. I mean, Babbitt, he actually just exploded. It's just so far behind. TP flank from Kisei, though, ended up being kind of the deciding factor, as well as Biopanther with the Ghost was able to have so much impact in this fight and still find a chance to get out. And yeah, the shutdown does go to Raze. 750 gold. It's nothing to scoff at, as we once again show no pause.
Yeah, no, I just want to take this downtime to say I feel like I have to apologize to Gemini because I've been a bit of a Lee Sin hater, but he's really playing Lee Sin to its full potential, you have to say.
He's styling on him, for sure. So we're not too sure what the pause is for yet. I mean, I still think it's looking rough here for Chiefs, right? You're down, I think, even with that Jinx gold, down 10,000 gold or so. Admittedly, they have probably one of the best scaling mid-ADs you could possibly get, right? The Aurelion Soul and the Jinx is insane scaling. But at what point is it just, unrecoverable, right? Down 10,000 gold, down 3 dragons to 0. It doesn't really feel like you have a way in unless CFO massively blunder and kind of give you the way in.
Yeah, and if you ever sort of go to these objectives right now, at the sort of how much gold that is on, especially Shun, if you go anywhere near an objective he's at, he can almost just dash forward with that empowerment from Nami, Gale Force and whoever he chooses to auto attack pretty much just goes down. So it's pretty hard for you to turtle and not give away too much when next Dragon is Soul for CFO, and I believe it's Ocean Soul this game. So I mean, that's just going to make them even harder to deal with. And then Baron shouldn't be too far if it's not already up. And you have to feel like there's not really much Chiefs can do to turtle this game out and stop CFO from taking those.
I think you're right. I think one more fight, if Jinx can pop off, maybe we can delay a little longer. If she can't, probably will just be CFO wrapping up the game in rather short order. And after that, you have to start thinking, you know, what would be the play for Game 3? Return to live, so it is still that 10,000 gold lead for CFO. Baron is spawning in a minute. Dragon's still 4 minutes away. And we are now kind of getting a little closer to those second items on the carries from Chiefs. Feel like just too much fighting, though, maybe out of them early game, right?
Yeah.
Fell very far behind.
I just want to point out, like, just before that 4 minute until Dragon spawns mark, Kisei's Rod of Ages ticked up to 6, so he will only just have that fully stacked by the time Dragon spawns. So I guess a bit of a saving grace, but that just goes to show how far he is behind considering Jimmy's already at 8.
Yeah, they just find themselves in such a rough position here. I mean, once again, your jungle being invaded, Raze has difficulty even stepping up to farm. It's tier 2. Does have Babip in the area?
Yeah, they are looking here onto Gemini. It looks like they will manage to find him. He tries to warthog out, but shut down onto Biopanther, and that's starting to become quite a strong Cassante on the top side.
For sure, yeah. Nice pickup there from the side of Chiefs. I mean, can you get anything off it? It feels like probably not. But you do delay any sort of Baron pressure here, which I think is really important if you do want some sort of chance. I mean, we keep saying like there are ways in this game, you know, for Chiefs. It's still massively favored to CFO though, right? Like you really can't win this game unless they kind of make just, you know, 3 team fight losses in a row. Although, you know, they've managed to get strong on their ADC here on Raze. They've got the big ulti on Kisei, which he can probably save for the next Dragon. Biopanther, he's pretty strong here as well.
Looking for Jimmy in here. Jimmy has to be careful. Barber sort of coming out of that bush a little bit too early. Maybe they could have found the kill there onto Jimmy in, but now we see CFO retaliating by pushing up the mid lane. Aladoric going to get chunked out. Will the culling take him down? No. Flash is used though. Flash will no longer be up for this Dragon that's spawning in 2 minutes.
Yeah, not having the Thresh flash does make engaging that little bit more difficult. Kisei has actually completed the Seraph second, which is kind of interesting because most Aurelion Souls go for the Rylai second because it allows you to kind of, you know, just set up those engages a little bit easier, especially with the, you know, super ult giving that AoE slow onto everyone. Definitely going for the max scaling build, but I'm not sure if you're just going to get the opportunity to reach there. Chiefs are going to try to take back some of this topside jungle vision. Biopanther is probably the only member who feels safe face checking any of these bushes. And it is just a minute 30 on this 4th Dragon. Perhaps maybe the earliest one I've seen CFO pick up, which is, you know, certainly something to say. I definitely do love their Dragon Souls. I mean, I think Chiefs, they've given themselves... From their deficit, they've clawed it back to probably the best possible situation they could ask for. They've got, you know, I think close to 2 items here on Jinx. They've got 2 items on their mid. They've got that Sky's Descend. But you're still so far behind. I'm not sure if they can win the fight, but it's not going to get any better for them than this.
And Gemini just freely running through the entire jungle of Chiefs. And, I mean, camps are just going to be taken off cooldown and vision consistently removed. And you're just getting slowly but surely choked out as Chiefs. I mean, Raze has a little bit of gold, but nothing when you compare it to the likes of Shun. And then it's so hard to find an angle as well because they have this little zone control of Jimmyin. So what can you do? I mean, Dragon in 33 seconds. You don't have flash on Raze or Aladoric here.
Hurricane is completed for Jinx. She's going to have flash soon. I think if you can delay this fight just a little bit, it could be good. You also have a lot of Baron DPS if you really wanted to risk it. Ooh, okay, the flash comes in.
Jimmy will find Aladoric. Can he get the kill? He won't go down just yet. It looks like Gemini might be picking that up. He does go down as well, however. Raze now is excited and is going through the team. CFO getting extremely low.
Okay, I mean, CFO, they're kind of kiting this out. I want to say really weird engage from the side of CFO, though. I'm not sure why Jimmy feels okay.
Shouldn't getting really close to Biopanther there. Does manage to get away for now, but goes in for look for Raze and costs him his flash. It was a bit too overeager.
Okay, Rest has flash. Can maybe look for the re-engage. He's going to try go on to Raze. Ooh, flash is matched.
Nice unstoppable there by Biopanther as he does go all out, and Rest is now cut off from the rest of his team. Kisei doing a nice job of controlling the zone, although Jimmy is just happily walking forward at this point.
Yeah, okay, I think Jimmy actually could be in a little bit of
Chiefs
trouble.
have found themselves a nice position, but doesn't look like they can follow up anymore as Gemini now headed towards the Dragon. Do they look to start it? You do have teleport available for Biopanther here to come back down after recalling.
I think it can be started up. The TP is coming through, though. Chiefs, they have a very real chance at winning this fight. Babbitt, though, he's going to get poked. Oh, he's found so early.
Babbitt will go down, and so that goes their chances. A nice kick. Aladog will go down as well. Biopanther in the back line. He doesn't have ult or ghost, so he's a sitting duck at the moment. He does go into the cage. Takes a lot of damage, but won't go down just yet. Looks like the re-engaged Jimmy will finish him off. Raze now caught in the cage, but nice Sky's descent to stop CFO in their tracks. However, it will be an ace. Do they end here? I think they could through bot. Looks like they will choose to take the Dragon, though.
They're just going to play it slow and collect, and I think, you know, credit to Chiefs, up until that point, were playing from behind very, very well, and you saw kind of how competitive the fights were before that, but then at that kind of, just in that last minute, it felt like Chiefs really fell apart, kind of just ended up filtering in one by one, right? You saw Babbitt go in so early when Jinx is still in base, so not sure what Babbitt was doing here, is taken out, and Aladoric, you know, found super early as well before Kizei's TP can come in, and suddenly, you know, 2 members are dead before your carries are even here. I think this actually was a winnable fight for Chiefs, especially because Kizei, I believe, ended up getting the Sky's Descent mid-fight, but yeah, I mean, they are at such a big deficit, so they are kind of reliant, actually just a normal, they are reliant on, you know, playing the fight extremely well, right? And unfortunately, from the side of Chiefs, they didn't execute as well as they needed. So that should be the 4th Dragon picked up for the side of CFO, as well as now an 11,000 gold lead. Oh, they're going to be spotted out. Who comes through? Aladoric has flash up.
Yeah, will get bubbled, though. He will have to flash away as we see Babbitt also getting very low. Now they are zoned off the Baron. Looks like CFO can just start this up. I mean, you have infinite sustain now with that Ocean Soul.
Yeah, will they look to start it up or just push in these lanes? I mean, there's a lot of flashes missing. Raze could be in trouble.
Raze is initiated on. Dragon's Kick will be used as Jimmy now running towards Raze. Won't find him just yet. Aurelion Soul ult committed. Biopanther is all out and will go down to Jimmy.
It is picked up, and I think now the side of CFO, Raze could be in trouble. He doesn't have flash.
Rest will find him with the Hyper Proc.
This should be Baron going the way of CFO as well. Only 26 minutes in. And I think Chiefs, they've managed to hold on a little bit longer than last game, but ultimately it does look like the result will be the same. CFO probably are strong enough that they could just end straight up with this Baron. I don't even think need to come through at the bases. Definitely don't need to wait for the Elder. Raze still won't have flash as well for this siege. And Jimmy does, so can always flash forward, just trade his life even to kill Raze. And there really just isn't enough damage beyond that. Because it hasn't reached the point yet where you can 1v5 a team fight. Looks like the top inhib will go down. The mid inhib will be worked on shortly after. Admittedly, is a lot of wave clear on the Aurelion Soul, but it kind of feels like it might not be enough. And I believe it's an open inhib block because they took the tower earlier in the game. So they're going to be able to take 3 inhibs here, and I think that will probably spell doom for Chiefs. Can they force a fight early?
Hook lands here onto Gemini, will happily safeguard out. Now used onto Biopanther. Not the target you wanted on, as Babbitt gets stunned up and just survives. Jimmy flashes forward, as does Gemini. Finds the kill onto Raze. He is dead yet again. Can he find anything here? Cyclone used, but wow, Aurelion Soul does pick up a kill onto Rest again, but now CFO turn their attention towards these towers and look to be ending the game here at 28 minutes.
Yeah, I think that because he has this guy's descent as kind of a last-ditch effort.
Yeah, we'll do a lot of damage here, but what can be followed up? Biopanther in the middle of them. The unstoppable, he is all out. Does find a kill actually there onto Gemini, as Shun getting low, but will take down Barba as well. And now it's an open Nexus. They will just look to end or take Aladoric out on the way.
They do what they can, and I think, you know, while the result is the same, I did like the draft a lot more from Chiefs, and admittedly, while they fell very far behind, I think they did actually play reasonably well from behind. Really, I think your question has to be now, how can you stabilize that early game? Because it feels like you're consistently falling to deficits that just you can't really come back from. I think questions around, you know, the mid-jungle maybe, it feels like, you know, maybe just forcing mid-priority somehow, you know, picking something, even if it's not best for the comp. It feels like Jimmy and Gemini, they just work too well on the map, and it's really the Chiefs bot lane that's feeling the effect of that, right? Constantly getting dived, constantly getting forced off their tower. And while Raze, I think, you know, again, he found his way back into the game almost. It was just too late. If they can stop that from happening, I think Chiefs, you know, it looks clear that CFO are the favorite.